Brandon Hunt, you are the best, man. Your show is amazing, and I'm watching it with my wife. We're watching it together, loving it, like soaking in every second, knowing the end is coming, and we are lamenting that. And I know the final episode will just be rife with can't believe this is the last time we're pressing play on something that's new with Ted Lasso. Is this truly the end?
We really don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
We don't know. Like this will be the end of this story that we set out to tell. You know, as I said, like we always saw it as a 3-piece thing, and we've always been aiming toward that. And like we didn't know we would get a second season. You know,
right.
Like we went out on a streaming service that didn't exist. So we weren't particularly ambitious with this, you know, and we're going to finish the story we set out to tell, but it was never in our calculus the way people have responded to the show.
Correct.
Like that's been obviously bonkers. So we are going to finish these, you know, this chunk of the story, and then we're taking a little break. And when the dust settles, we'll come back around. It's possible we'll continue. It's possible there will be spinoffs. It's possible none of that will happen. But truly, honestly, everything is on the table right now. But we will take a break.
I'm thrilled to hear that. And we have Jason Sudeikis coming in Monday. I will ask him the same darn question, but I'll tell him what I'm telling you now. Like, please keep doing it. And I know that this requires a certain amount of brain power, brain equity, and it just doesn't just fall out of your skulls collectively or you individually. But it's too good to stop. It is too good to stop, and I'd love to see, whatever the next venture could be, and I hope to see more of it. And you, certainly, not only because I want to see more Ted Lasso, I cannot wait to hear the next chapter of the ASFL.
ASFL.
And that stands for
All Sports Fantasy League.
Okay.
Rush Howell, Esquire.
Rush Howell, Esquire. That's this is the brains behind the operation.
Yes, and many other things, but particularly this.
Okay.
Also, how do we get an advance copy of Trent Crimm's book that he's working on? I would actually read this book.
See, I mean,
and I know I'm not alone.
That may actually exist. Why wouldn't
I mean,
it?
he's definitely writing that book. That book, does not go away during the course of the season. But if I can zag a little bit on that question, yes. Just to talk a little bit about Grant Wall, the great Grant Wall, who died during the World Cup, and the great U.S. soccer writer. When we were putting the storyline together of Trent, embedding with the team, and particularly following this superstar as Zava arrives, who we've met in the last couple episodes, I reached out to Grant, who I've never met, but I've been reading for decades. And hey, you did the Beckham experiment, where he embedded with the LA Galaxy when they had David Beckham coming. And, we were talking about it in the writer's room and just have a few questions for you. Like, would you be able to just, take a moment and answer these? We'd be much thanks from us. Like John Feinstein's people were like, you're paying money. You're paying money before you get these answers. I'm like, oh, gosh, okay, fine. I'm sure it wasn't communicated to him very accurately. But Grant Wall came back with paragraphs of answers within 2 days. He was incredibly generous with his experiences. And it was really, really great and pretty helpful. And so we have a little nod to him coming up in this next episode. And this was when he was still with us. We did not know obviously what was going to come to pass. So one great thing about the Trent Crimm thing is it brought Grant Wall to us a bit more. He came to Richmond. We hung out for a day.
Is that right?
Yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah, 2 months before the World Cup.
And so this character's arc is going to have his DNA in it, pretty much.
Yeah, a little bit.
Beautiful.
Brendan, you mentioned Zava. Just wondering, what was the inspiration behind that character? Because my first instinct was Zlatan. I just assumed that that's who you were shooting for with Zava's character.
Well, the lawyers have told me to tell you, TJ, that Zava is a composite of many of the vivid and wonderful characters that populate the world of football. Was Zlatan one inspiration? Sure. But Zlatan's incredible. Zlatan.
No question.
Google him, people. Google his goals are incredible. His quotes are incredible. And if we even have 1/10 of him in Zava, then
Zava's incredible
we're
already.
Happy.
Well,
I cannot wait to see where he goes.
The way sometimes Zlatan can exit a pitch is of interest as well for anybody who's out there Googling. And I guess, and as we've established, one of them is not Jason Sudeikis because he doesn't know how to work that. So we've established one of many things in this interview, including the fact that I'd love to have you back anytime.
Oh,
what
please.
a pleasure.
Yeah, man.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.